Tony McGill has spoken out about intimate scenes between his wife Caitriona Balfe and Sam Heughan. Tony McGill, a name that is not very prominent in the media, has become the center of attention simply because he is the husband of Caitriona Balfe. For nearly 10 years, Tony has held a special position as the silent partner behind the brilliant success of his wife, the woman who brilliantly transformed into Claire Fraser in the hit TV series Outlander. Together with Sam Heughan, co-star Jamie Fraser, Caitriona has created an on-screen couple known as the soul of love that transcends time. The audience loves them not only for their genuine acting but also for their closeness and attachment to the point of being incomprehensible in real life. Over the years, the audience and the press have continuously asked the question, what does Tony McGill think about the combination of his wife and that perfect co-star? He was silent, a silence that lasted nearly a decade. Until one day, a whisper in the wind. In June 2025, at a small charity concert that Tony had organized, as a music producer, something unexpected happened. When a reporter asked about his upcoming musical plans, Tony smiled, hesitated for a moment, and said, "I think it's time for me to share a little bit about what the world has been wondering about for 10 years. The whole room fell silent. People thought he was talking about music. But then, with a soulful look, Tony continued. About Caitriona and Sam, the news was a bombshell. The media exploded. That night, social media around the world was flooded with hashtags. Hashtag Tony finally speaks. Hashtag SamCatTony. Outlander Triangle. No one expected the calm man to choose a small concert to open his mouth. A journey to acceptance. The real story was shared by Tony a few days later in an exclusive interview with Vanity Pulse magazine. The interview was filmed at the peaceful cottage in Scotland, where Tony and Caitriona often retreated when she wasn't filming. Sitting by the window, drinking a cup of hot tea, Tony began, "I first met Caitriona at a violin recital. She was wearing a simple black dress, quietly enjoying the music. We talked about Chopin, then David Bowie. And within a month, I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. When she got the role of Claire in Outlander, I was thrilled. But none of us could have imagined what would come next." He chuckled. "Sam is a good actress, and more than that, a nice man. I was scared, not because Cat would leave me, but because the audience wanted them to love each other, to the point where the line between real and fake was crossed. The spotlight and the shadows behind." Tony said that in 2017, when Outlander was at its peak, his relationship with Caitriona began to have small cracks, not because of a rift in love, but because of pressure from the media and fans. "I received anonymous messages asking me to give Cat back to Sam. Some even called me the third person who got in the way of Jamie and Claire's sacred love." Tony looked into the distance. "It's strange, isn't it? I'm her husband, but I'm still seen as the one who got in the way." Caitriona had a breakdown because of this. She apologized to Tony many times. She said that she had never had any feelings other than friendship with Sam. But Tony understood. It wasn't her fault, nor Sam's fault. It was because they were so good at making the audience believe in Jamie and Claire's love. "I thought about pulling out, taking some time away from Cat so she wouldn't feel pressured. But then, while watching the scene behind the scenes of Jamie and Claire breaking up in Culloden, I saw the way Sam stepped away from the scene when the director said, 'Cut.' His eyes were completely detached. And I knew, Sam Heughan didn't love Caitriona the way people imagined. Coffee, books and quiet mornings. The friendship between Tony and Sam developed quietly like that. No lights, no scandals. Just mornings drinking coffee together, discussing philosophy books, Scotch whiskey and how to protect Cat from her own fame. Sam came to my house a few times, bringing barrels of his own wine. We played chess, and I remember one time, Sam said, "Tony, you are a lucky man. But no one really sees it because they are blinded by the image of Jamie, Claire." I'm sorry if that hurts you. Tony was silent for a moment and then smiled. That sentence made me forgive everyone, not because Sam needed to forgive, but because I understood that he was as tired as we were. The boundary between role and reality, the interview that shocked the art world. Outlander fans are divided into two camps. One is moved that Tony finally spoke up, the other still believes that Sam and Kat are the real destiny. Pop culture psychologists also use this case to analyze the phenomenon of shipping in modern media, when viewers cannot distinguish between a character and a real person. In a later appearance at Comic-Con, Sam was asked about the interview. He simply said, "Tony is a gentleman, a precious friend, and proof that true love, even if it is not on screen, is worth preserving." An unsent letter. After the interview, Tony revealed that he had written a letter to Caitriona in 2019, the year when rumors of her relationship with Sam were at their most intense. He never sent the letter. But in the interview, he read it. "Dear Kat, if you ever find yourself lost between Claire and yourself, remember that I love you, not because you're famous, not because you're Claire Fraser. I loved you when you weren't anyone. And I will love you even when the world forgets you. I see you tired of having to prove that you're just friends to Sam. But you don't have to do that to me. Because I see it in your eyes, every morning we wake up together, you are mine, not some role. If you want to stop, I'll be there. If you want to continue, I'll go with you. I only ask one thing, don't lose yourself to please the world. Love you, Tony." End or beginning. Caitriona and Tony appeared together at the premiere of the final season of Outlander. They held hands. Sam was there, too, congratulating them with a warm hug. The press called that moment the photo that closed a decade of misunderstandings. Tony, in a conversation with art school students, summed it up. Sometimes, what makes a marriage last is not passionate love, but patient silence. But at some point, you have to talk. Not to justify, but to let people know, you have a story. Quote,